Beast from the East hit London, but a bit of snow wasn't enough to keep the East End boxing fans away from York Hall. A good crowd got in for some warmth and anticipating a classic night of small hall action. If fans at the spiritual home of British boxing were feeling the cold, unbeaten super middleweight Zak Chelli turned on the heating against Przemysław Binienda. Chelli showed speed and power and a decent defence whenever his Polish rival attempted to press forward. And bloody Binienda was glad to hear the bell to end the painful first 3 minutes. The visitor was under constant pressure and was offering little back whenever the Fulham man teed off. Although Binienda was never on the floor, referee Jeff Hines made a wise stoppage when he was under more pressure on the ropes at 2 minutes 30 of the second round.
Zak, full professional win. Was that your best performance so far?
We've got a lot more to come, hopefully. Train always harder and always, hopefully, I'd improve. But this fight, I took a different approach. I took a more technical approach. And I think that made the fight really easy.
Another popular fighter, DP Carr, found the going a lot tougher against Birmingham southpaw Paul Holt. There was little to split the pair earlier on. Perhaps the harder shots were landed by the former Midlands area super featherweight champion. Although Carr was marked up, his pressure was enough to give him his 9th straight win, although referee Chaz Coakley had him just a round up at the final bell. He now fancies moving up in class and challenging for the Southern Area title.
Dan, your first fight for 9 months and the toughest fight of your career so far?
Definitely. I wanted to step up though, even if it was a break. So I come back and I got what I wanted, and I'm pleased. I thought it was wider than that though. I thought I lost the last round maybe, but I did lose the last round. But that's my fault. But yeah, I'm glad to be back now. Hopefully step up again next time.
Harley Benn has the pressure of the famous fighting surname, and the son of the Dark Destroyer Nigel Benn, who's back boxing at super welterweight following a 9-month layoff. Ben was looking sharp from the start against tough Belfast man James Gorman, scoring well with his jab. The 21-year-old has shed some weight, and many ringsiders believed it was the most impressive performance of his short professional career so far. Gorman did push forward in the 4th and final round, but whatever he tried, Ben always seemed to have an answer, and he took an emphatic points win on referee Coakley's card.
Harley, your first fight for 9 months. Surely that was the best performance of your career.
Well, I've come down 2 weights. I was fighting at super middle. Much too big for me it was. I'm only 5'9", so it didn't work out. The reason I started at that weight is because I didn't have an amateur career, didn't know what I'd turn out like, but I've come down to super welter. Don't get me wrong, it was hard in there tonight, but I feel a lot better in myself, and from what you've said, I performed the best I ever have, so that's the way forward. I'm going to stay, I might come down another one.
Trainer Alan Smith has big hopes for Jake Pettitt, and he had little trouble from Czech rival Denis Bartros. After feeling his opponent out in round 1, 19-year-old Pettitt dropped his opponent twice in round 2. A left hook dropped the visitor in his own corner, and then a right hook did more damage, and only the bell saved Bartos. Pettitt was determined to get his first ever stoppage win in the 3rd round, and the onslaught continued. When Bartos went over for the 3rd time, referee Mark Bates decided he had seen enough. Pettitt's win earned him a place on the undercard at the O2 Arena on April 14, when Billy Joe Saunders defends his WBO middleweight title against Martin Murray, and Terry Flanagan challenges for the WBO super lightweight crown against Maurice Hooker.
Jake, what was it feeling when you floored somebody for the first time in your career?
weird to say the least at the start, but then I got my rhythm. He had long arms, he was an awkward opponent, but once I got my rhythm and stood my ground, he couldn't really know what to do.
Many of the fans at York Hall had come to watch exciting Sanjeev Sahota. He always delivers excitement, and his fight against Birmingham's Kane Baker was a thriller from start to finish. Baker may have been in the away corner, but it was obvious he hadn't driven to London in atrocious conditions to make up the numbers. As early as round 2, it was a war of attrition, and Baker seemed to have a reply to whatever Sanjeev threw. The 4th round was a good session for Sanjeev, and the non-stop action had the crowd on their feet, willing the fighters on. The round ended with Baker under pressure on the ropes, but he was always looking to fire back. Defence wasn't much concern to either man, and Sahota's corner must have been concerned when Baker came right back into the action during the middle rounds. It was a close call going into the final round of their welterweight war, and both men had felt they had done enough after 8 action-packed rounds. Sahota looked like he had just clinched it and was relieved to get home by just 1 point, although Baker and his manager Errol Johnson were fuming at the decision.
The winner in the blue corner,
What's it like topping the bill at a venue like this and delivering a classic like that that has everyone on their feet?
I'm feeling blessed to top of a venue, such a famous venue, York Hall. And look, you know what the weather's like out there today, but still, my army, my people, all the people, fans are still here, and I wasn't going to let them down, I won't let them down. I'll find a way, always.
Did Kane give you the toughest fight of your career so far?
I'll say it's one of the toughest, in the first rounds. I just had to dug deep, but I listened to my corner, and like Lenny was saying to me, listen, you need to pick up the pace. So I knew in the last rounds I had to really pick it up. The first rounds was tough, but we got there, we found a way, and that's the main thing that counts.
With the win, Sanjeev picked up the British Challenge title. And who is that fella invading the ring to present him with the belt?